Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name's Josh Hall. This is the Original Rebels Racing League Grand National Series season finale from Homestead, Miami here on iRacing. We're getting ready for 100 laps to settle a championship here tonight. We see three of our four championship drivers on the scoring pylon there. Jonah Colbert, Mike Kostek, Andy Kurtz. Eddie Smith just joined the server, so all four championship drivers will be battling it out here tonight. No points to show because it's just those four drivers. They're going to be battling it out, and the highest position will win. I just want to thank everybody who's watching tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. Do appreciate you coming out and spending your night here with us as we crown a champion here tonight. So far, fastest on the board is the 31 of Jonah Colbert. Andy Kurtz, currently the second fastest driver. Some cars still circulating the track as we got about a minute left here in practice before we get qualifying underway. I do apologize, just having a little technical issues here on my end, trying to get the Facebook up and running. Bear with me just a moment as I'm going to be quiet for just a second while we get this up and running here tonight. So we're streaming across all of our platforms. Qualifying's about to get underway though. See, one of our first drivers is to hit the track. It looks like the 5 of Andy Kurtz will be one of the first drivers to roll off a pit lane to get their qualifying attempt underway. There we go. We got the chat open too, whether you're watching again on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Chat is open. Let us know who you're pulling for here tonight, who you think your champion's going to be. You see Andy Kurtz coming down the backstretch now on his final lap of 2. Currently at the top of the board, Eddie Smith currently sitting back in second. Mike Kostek in third. Jonah Colbert just making his way across the stripe. Andy Kurtz's second lap is going to be good enough for continue to be P1. Eddie Smith coming across the line. And he's going to stay there in that P2 position. Here's Kostek. You see that big wiggle out of that 8 machine off the corner. That is not going to help him out. Currently showing third, and Jonah Colbert currently showing up in the 4th position. Kostek, though, does jump up into the 2nd position. Jonah comes across the stripe. And he's going to jump right to the top of the board, take that position away from Andy Kurtz. So as they run right now, our top 4 are lined up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and Jonathan Cofield changes that right there. Breaks up the championship 4 right there at the top of the board. See who else is out on track. We see Charles Stevens. Oh, slides it off a turn. Number 4 has some issues. That's going to disallow his qualifying attempt. And let's see who else is out on track right now. I don't see any other cars making a qualifying attempt. We see Mickey Isaac on pit road, but has not rolled off yet. Matt Knights, Matt Kleeman, Brett Bieber, Steve McDonald. So we got about a minute and a half left here in qualify. Of course, I want to thank everybody again for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. Do appreciate you joining us here tonight. Don't forget to check out our great sponsors, including Kinder Farm and Ranch, our Record Rewind sponsor, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, Dark Horse Motorsports, Chuck Pegleg Felts, JC Race Graphics, and the Rebels Racing Network. Looks like Charles Stevens is going to have one more lap to try to get a time set here. He comes across the stripe. And Stevens is going to jump up into the 8th position. That's pretty much going to do it here for qualifying. So it doesn't look like we're going to have any other cars make their way out onto the track. Of course, we want to thank one of our great partners here on Intensity Broadcasting as well. And that's the Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel ultra-low frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC, console, and professional sim racers. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is the new and upgraded sim racing haptic that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. And I apologize, I thought I had the race chat off, but let's get that fixed real quick. We don't want to listen to the drivers talking there. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one's right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. Of course, they make other things than great gaming haptics, but haptics for your TV and for listening to music. So you can check out the entire line over at the Butt Kicker. Down below is a link in the description. Also, you can check out our webpage as well. That helps us out a lot. You can pick up your iRacing gear, your Intensity gear, even your Kinder Farm and Ranch hats, t-shirts, and sweatshirts over at intensitybroadcasting.com. Let's take a look at the starting grid. And starting on pole tonight is the 58 of Jonathan Cofield, with Jonah Colbert rolling off from P, number 2. Andy Kurtz be rolling off 3rd with Travis Bieber in the 4th position. Then Mike Kostek and Eddie Smith will round out row number 3. Brandon Pollock and Charles Stevens Jr. make up row 4, with Brandon Wallace and Tyler Rice back in row number 5. Daniel Cunningham rolls off 11th with Lance Sponberg in the 12th position. 13th is Steve McDonald. Sorry, 13th is Mickey Isaac with Steve McDonald rolling off from 14th. Brett Bieber in 15th. Matt Kleeman 16th. And Matt Knights rounds out the field in the 17th position. As we see the cars circulating the track, getting their tires warmed up, getting ready for 100 laps here to crown a champion. Of course, as I mentioned, if you're watching and you have the chat open, feel free to let us know who you're rooting for here tonight, who you think is going to be crowned champion. So we see the field making their ways through turns 3 and 4. Of course, Truck Series finale will be coming up on Sunday night as well, so a full weekend of finales. As here we go, the pace car is pulling off on the pit road, takes that hard left-hand turn for the final time this season. And we're going to have our final start of the season as the green flag is in the air. And a great start side by side from our two leaders. And Jonathan Cofield is going to have the advantage as he makes his way down into turn number 1. Andy Kurtz right there on the inside of Jonah Colbert as they make their way off of turn number 2. As the field spreads off of turn 2. Comes down the backstretch for the first time. Jonah Colbert trying to make a move down to the inside of Jonathan Cofield, trying to take that lead away early. But Cofield with that advantage up on the high side, as now Mike Kostek is up in the mix here. He's looking to the inside of Andy Kurtz, trying to take over that third position. Again, doesn't matter who wins the race, whoever is the highest finishing driver will be your champion. And you can see our championship 4 right now under a blanket as they rocket down the backstretch. Couldn't ask for a better finish right now as all 4 drivers running around each other right now, led by Jonah Colbert. Eddie Smith bringing up the rear of the championship 4, but again, we're only working lap number 3 of 100, and we have a long way to go. Already Jonathan Cofield's pulled out to almost a half-second lead as here comes Kostek giving a look down to the inside of Jonah Colbert, trying to take over that second position. He's got the position as they go down through turns 1 and 2. But Jonah might have the advantage here up on that high side as they come off of turn number 2. And with the progressive banking here at Homestead, Miami, the high lane will have a pretty strong advantage, especially on fresh tires. But as the tires wear out, watch that low lane to start coming into play. Kostek's going to have to tuck back in line and regroup and try it all over again. A little further back, Brandon Wallace all over the back bumper of Charles Stevens Jr. We see the 4 of Brandon Pollock right in the wall here. He's in that Kyle Larson line as he's right up, riding on the wall, trying to get some kind of advantages. Here comes Brandon Wallace. Thought he was going to try to make another move on Stevens Jr. You see those 2 back here, rim riding right up on that wall. A lot of people look at that and go, why would you ride way up there? It's the longest way around the track. Well, there's a lot of grip up there, especially with these cars being very aero dependent. When you're right up against the wall like that, there's a cushion of air that actually keeps you right off the wall and can actually help you keep your speed up, as Pollock taking a look down to the inside of the 99 of Wallace. They're side by side, and this is a battle for the 8th position. Daniel Cunningham right behind as well. Up front, Mike Kostek has Andy Kurtz right there on the back bumper trying to make something happen. Just not quite close enough to close in on him as Jonah Colbert starting to run down the 58 of Jonathan Cofield. All right, we're seeing Cofield struggling for grip as the tires really start to show their wear between laps 8 and 12. That's when you see these drivers really starting to change their line, start searching for some grip. So we're right along with Jonah here when we see him working from inside this machine. And now that car handling almost ideally. We don't see a lot of movement out of the wheel as Jonah comes off of turn number 4. Really just too early to make any moves, although back here we've got a battle still going on between Brandon Pollock and Brandon Wallace. With Daniel Cunningham closing right on in. He's trying to take advantage of this opportunity as those drivers are running side by side. See if he can close the gap and try to make the move himself. Oh, Pollock got real loose there off turn number 4. He's going to have to tuck back in line. But a great save. Now driver of the 4 machine as the 14 of Daniel Cunningham is now right there on the back bumper. He's trying to make his move to the inside. We're just 10 laps in, and already we've seen a couple battles throughout the track, especially among our top 4 is Eddie Smith. Now taking a look down to the inside of Andy Kurtz. Andy, past champion of both the Xfinity Series and the Outlaw Truck Series, trying to put another notch in his belt with another championship here in the Original Rebels Racing League. Right now, though, he is the lowest running of the championship 4. As right now, our top 4 in points run 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Still a great battle back here between Brandon Pollock, Brandon Wallace, Daniel Cunningham, and Tyler Rice now up in the mix as we see Cunningham thought about trying to make it 3 wide for a second, just didn't have the run. Brandon Wallace now defending from that 14 machine. And we see Tyler Rice working hard down on that low side. Now, right off of turn number 2 there, on that low side, there's a really big bump that can upset the cars as they come off the corner. So watch for these drivers as they run side by side. See if anybody has any issues there coming off the corner. Mickey Isaac right there in the mix here as well. Tyler Rice trying to work around the 14 of Daniel Cunningham. Right now just hanging tight on that low side, waiting for the opportunity to arise. Back up front, Jonah Colbert just riding along here behind Jonathan Cofield. Cofield's lead now just over 0.2 of a second. You see Mike Kostek right here as well. And you know, these drivers can go right around 40 laps, so they will have to pit twice here tonight. And this is a tricky pit road to get on and off of. So when you come onto pit road, the radius to get onto pit road is very tight. We've seen a lot of issues in other leagues. Drivers missing pit road here, catching that inside wall, plowing into the inside barrier. Another tricky part is getting off of pit road. As when you come off of pit road, you have to use the access road, which is very flat. It's very easy to lose a little bit of control, get off line, get off into the grass. Kosek's now closed right in on the back bumper of Jonah Colbert. Take a look off the back bumper of the 31 machine. Kosek's going to take a look down to the inside. There's Eddie Smith as well. As there goes Kostek right on by It looks like Jonah just kind of hung out there as the yellow flag is out. Looks like Daniel Cunningham was around as he's reset and made his way back to pit road. That's going to bring up our first Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind as we take a look to see exactly what happened to the 14 of Daniel Cunningham. Brandon Pollock running off that wall, bounces off the wall, comes down into the 14. The 4 continues on straight. You see Mickey Isaac just barely able to sneak through there. Brandon Wallace sneaking through as well. The field doing a good job of avoiding the 14. Cunningham doing a good job of locking that down so that he didn't roll down across the track in front of traffic. We'll see if anybody makes their way down pit road under our first caution of the event. It looks like the entire field is going to make their way down pit road. So Jonathan Cofield's going to lead them down. Everybody gets down into their box nice and clean. So see who gets the advantage. It looks like Jonah Colbert's just going to take right sides only. And Tyler Rice, I believe he also just took right sides. He did. So Tyler Rice comes off in second, but Jonah Colbert using the strategy here to try to get himself up into the lead here on those 2 tires. But we know 2 tires can work here. We've seen it before. We know Jonah's used 2 tires here, or 2 tires this year to get himself victory. So we'll see if this pays off for him. Have a message in the chat. I believe that's Dawn 2083. If that's not how it's pronounced, I apologize. And they say they're just here to watch the 87 take this championship home. And Jonah Colbert coming back down onto pit road. Maybe thinking that 2-tire strategy is not the way to go. See if the left sides go up on the car this time. No, right side's back up in the air. So all 4 tires being changed on the 31 this time. So that's going to give the lead back to the 58 of Jonathan Cofield. Tyler Rice up on the outside. Eddie Smith, Mike Kostek in row number 2. Andy Kurtz, Travis Bieber, row number 3. Mickey Isaac, Charles Stevens. And then Lance Sponberg and Steve McDonald round out your top 10. Here we go. Pace car takes that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Down to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. We're back racing, and look at the move that Jonah Colbert just made. He spun his tires a little bit, looked like, but now he's trying to make his way back through the field. He's going to go 3 wide on Charles Stevens Jr. and Brett Bieber. The 31 is on a mission right now as they come down the backstretch, and Eddie Smith currently runs in second. Mike Kostek right there on the back bumper of Tyler Rice. And already we see Jonah Colbert up into the 9th position. So he's continuing his march forward already. Kostek looking up to the high side of Tyler Rice, trying to take over that 3rd position. He almost had the 6 cleared. Here comes Andy Kurtz up on that high side as well, trying to do the same thing. Kostek easily clears the 6. Here comes Kurtz to the outside. And you're already seeing that these 2 tires on Tyler Rice's machine is not working. As now Jonah Colbert's already going around. Move Jonah up into the 6th position. Again, it doesn't matter who wins the race here tonight. It just matters who the highest finishing playoff driver is. Those are the drivers that are highlighted in blue on the ticker. As Jones looking up to the high side of Travis Bieber. And he's easily going to take over that 5th position. Now he sets his sights on playoff driver Andy Kurtz. So right now, 2nd through 5th are all occupied. Oh, Jonah loses it in the middle of the corner. Hangs on to it, though. And loses all that time. As I was about to say, their playoff drivers were running 2nd through 5th, but now Jonah's fallen back into the 7th position as he's battling side by side with Charles Stevens Jr. Jr. Gonna have to tuck in behind the 31 as Colbert's now moved up into the 6th position. He's gonna have to do it all over again to try to get back into the battle with our top 4 drivers. Eddie Smith, our current highest running of the championship 4, but he's got Mike Kostek right there on the back bumper. We've seen this before as Kostek right there on the back bumper trying to make his way around the 87. He's going to try to make a move this time down into the corner. No, he's going to stay tucked in right behind. Trying to get the run off of turn number 4, but just not close enough to try to take advantage of the 87. Now as they go down into the corner this time, Kostek trying to run tight on that 87 of Eddie Smith, trying to take that position away. As we are just past a quarter of the way through the race. And the battle for the championship is right here in front of us as Eddie Smith currently holding on to that spot, but Mike Kostek right there on the back bumper trying to get around the 87 of Eddie Smith. Eddie sees that 8 is faster right now. He's going to go ahead and let Kostek right on by. He says, you know what, you can go by, you can burn up your tires trying to chase down Cofield. I'm just going to sit here and ride for a little bit. Andy Kurtz currently back in the 4th position. Travis Bieber taking a look down to the inside, and right behind we see that 31 Red Bull machine of Jonah Colbert already making his way back up into, or trying to get his way back up into the top 5. We know what everybody loves. They love the sights and sounds that you have here at the racetrack. So why don't we go ahead and do a little thing I like to call pump up the intensity. Gotta love the sights and sounds of a track like Homestead Miami Speedway. You see the cars running all sorts of different lines right up against the wall, down on the white line. Drivers can really spread out and use most of the racetrack to their advantage. And right now, the driver using the racetrack to their advantage is the 58 of Jonathan Cofield. Currently your leader, has led every lap pretty much since the drop of the green flag. Mike Kostek runs back in the second position, our highest running playoff driver. So he was able to get around Eddie Smith a few laps ago. Eddie just hanging back there right now, logging laps. Long race to go. Knows he can't win it right now. He's got Jonah Colbert right there trying to run him down. And Andy Kurtz right behind as well. So our championship four now once again runs second through fifth, with Kostek, Smith, Colbert, and Kurtz being the order. Well, further back, we got a little battle back here between Steve McDonald and Brandon Wallace. McDonald using that low side, trying to get around the 99. Now Wallace going to look down to the inside with a little crossover move here. Just not able to close the door as he's going to tuck right back in. Ooh, take the air off the spoiler of the 68. Gets that car a little bit out of shape, and Matt Kleeman right there in the mix as well as he's closing in on these two. Andy Kurtz has the 114. Travis Bieber running him down currently. It's not what Kurtz wants. He wants to be up there racing for the championship, not falling back. Could be saving a little bit of fuel and tires as well. See how this plays out for him as the run continues. As now Matt Kleeman's taking a look down to the inside of the 99. It's a battle for the 10th position. As Kleeman's going to take that position right away. And now Kleeman's going to set his sights on the 68 of Steve McDonald. As here comes Travis Bieber trying to take away that fifth position from Andy Kurtz. Andy's able to fire back though and keep in front of that 114. Now Jonathan Cofield starting to fall back a little bit into the clutches of Mike Kostek and Eddie Smith. Eddie's able to run Kostek right back down, and now they're nose to tail as they come down the front stretch as we are 10 laps away from halfway. The battle for the lead and the championship is heating up here. Mike Kostek trying to find his way around the 58 of Cofield. He's going to take the look right down to the bottom. Eddie Smith is going to follow right along. Schofield's going to tuck right in behind the 87 of Eddie Smith. Now Eddie taking a look down to the inside of Kostek. He's got the position down into turn number 1. Kostek, though, is he able to roll that high side to keep that momentum, to keep himself side by side with Eddie. They use a little side draft down the backstretch, side by side, for the lead of the race and the lead of the championship. Kostek going to able to clear the 87 of Eddie Smith. He's currently the leader of the championship 4. Eddie Smith's going to have to find a way to regroup. Let's see if he can make another run at it here. That's about a second back almost to 4th place. Jonah Colbert is trying to make his way back up into the mix here as well. Andy Kurtz has been able to hold off the 114 of Travis Bieber. But for how much longer can he hold on to that 5th spot? Our battle for the championship continues with about 5 laps away from halfway. Don't forget to join us on Sunday night for our truck doubleheader, as both the Hardline Transport Solutions Outlaw Truck Series and the Whole Heating and Sheet Metal Sunday Night Truck Series both have their season finales this Sunday, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. 8 more drivers, 4 per race, will be battling it out for their championships respectively, so make sure to tune in for that. You can find it live here on Intensity Broadcasting. If you're not already subscribed, don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. And hit that little notification bell so you know we go anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Our top 3 separated by just half a second. Then you got to go all the way back a second and a half to find 4th place, Jonah Colbert, as he and Andy Kurtz are running 4th and 5th. Oh, Lance Sponberg was just up in the wall. He's lost a lot of time to Matt Knights and Tyler Rice. Currently runs back in the 16th position. Not too far ahead from our leader, Mike Kostek. As we are quickly approaching the halfway mark. Well, with the original Rebels Racing League season coming to a close, we still have plenty of racing on Intensity Broadcasting. Of course, you can find the Shoney's Doghouse Truck Series on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Just had a fantastic race at the Roval. They'll be moving on the Five Flags Speedway this Tuesday, followed by Kentucky Speedway. Then there'll be 2 weeks off. Then they'll move on to Daytona before they start their chase. So you'll go and check that out here on Tuesday nights. Plus the SCSRA Trucks and Xfinity Series will be kicking back off in 2 weeks' time. Their season will start back up on December 13th. Matt Kleeman taking a look down to the inside of Mickey Isaac. It's a battle for the 8th position. And Tyler Rice makes his way down on the pit road, so just past the halfway mark. Starting to see a couple drivers making pit stops as we got a battle heating up here between Jonah Colbert and Andy Kurtz. This is a battle for the 3rd position. Kurtz had a little bit of an advantage there going into the corner, but Jonah's able to hold back on. But here comes Kurtz looking back down to the inside. Andy so good at saving tires and saving his equipment. Lance Sponberg just made his way down onto pit road. Kurtz is always one driver you look out for at the end of a run, and he's showing why right here as he pulls alongside Jonah Colbert, trying to take over that 4th position. And there goes Kurtz up into the 4th position as Mike Kostek now has the 87 of Eddie Smith, was just on the back bumper. Not just a battle for the lead, but a battle for the championship. As we work lap 54 of 100. They work around the lap car of Sponberg. They make easy work of him. And now Jonah, Jonah has some issues. He's down on the barrels. Jonah Colbert has to reset. He's got a lot of damage to that car. Jonah Colbert's championship hopes are over. Let's see if we can see. I didn't mean to put that up there. Let's see if we can see what happened to Jonah. At this point, he's already stuck it down. As I mentioned earlier, it's a tough pit road to get onto. Really easy to loop it down there, and that's exactly what happened to Jonah. And that is going to end his chances at a championship here tonight. So now it's just a 3-car battle for the championship between Mike Kostek, Eddie Smith, and Andy Kurtz. Man, what a tough ending to a race. You run all season long, battle for wins, get yourself into the Final Four, and then a costly error takes you out of the championship as quickly as you were in it. So the 3-car battle continues. Mike Kostek, currently your leader. Eddie Smith runs back in 2nd. Andy Kurtz in the 3rd position. Also, I feel like that's going to be our, whoops, I didn't want the replay. I wanted this button right here. This will be our Cofield asphalt refinishing tough luck. Let me see the 31 just try to come down on the pit road. Just can't get woed down enough. Locks up the tires and catches that inside wall. So making a tough break for Jonah Colbert. But up front, Eddie Smith and Mike Kostek continue to battle for the race win and the championship. And we have just 40 laps to go when they cross the line next time. Of course, everybody is going to have to make their way down pit road one more time. We see Brandon Wallace on pit road. He's getting tires and fuel. Daniel Cunningham still on pit road after his earlier incident. We'll see who one of the first leaders are to make their way down onto pit road. You see these cars really starting to slip slide around right now as the tires wear out. We'll ride along here with Eddie Smith. Take a look at Eddie doing work here and see just how much he's moving that wheel around right now, trying to hold on to that car. Tries to open up that wheel just a little bit without overturning the wheel, and we've got our first driver, championship driver, on pit road. That's Andy Kurtz. Just makes his way off of pit road. He's going to have to take that access road, get himself back onto the track. So Andy Kurtz will be able to make it to the end now. Just going to be a matter of when our two leaders here come down onto pit road as they are battling nose to tail. While these two stay out, they're going to give up a ton of time to the 5 of Andy Kurtz. Give you an idea of the difference in lap times. Last time by, Mike Kostek ran pretty much a 35 flat. Eddie Smith ran a 35 flat. As Eddie Smith makes his way down on the pit road. And he's able to make his way safely down on the pit road. After those two drivers ran 35s, Andy Kurtz last time by was a 33.5. So almost 2 seconds faster than our leader. Here comes Kostek now onto pit road. He's able to get it woe down, and it's going to give the lead over to the 114 of Travis Bieber. That's also going to give the championship lead to Andy Kurtz, as we're going to see Kurtz drive right on by Eddie Smith. Now Eddie was able to stay out in front of Andy Kurtz, but here comes Kurtz up to the high side as they come through turns 3 and 4. And Kurtz going to take a look down to the inside. His tires are up to temperature. He's going to have a little bit more grip than Eddie Smith as they catch the lap car of Spongbird. Eddie Smith is going to be able to keep up in front of Andy Kurtz. Mike Kostek now, though, about 2 seconds back. So we can take a look at the pit stop times here. See Andy Kurtz with a 14.2. Mike Kostek didn't register yet. We'll have to wait till a couple more laps to see the exact times that these drivers had. Eddie Smith with a 14.8. Andy Kurtz with a 14.7. Mike Kostek with a 15.3. So that's why Kostek is so far behind Eddie Smith and Andy Kurtz right now. Because that extra second and a half on pit road. As caution is out on the track. See the damage to the back of the 58 of Cofield. That's going to bring up our Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. So we take a look to see what happened here to the 58. As he's running side by side with Travis Bieber, who just loses it right in front of the 14. Loops it around. And just backs into the wall, trying to stay out of the way. Does a great job, though, keeping it pretty much off the wall, except for right there at the end. And that's going to bring Travis Bieber down on pit road. Matt Knights, Charles Stevens Jr. all on pit road. And that's going to change our race for the championship, as that's going to allow Eddie Smith, Andy Kurtz, and Mike Kostek to get nose to tail here on this restart. When we go green, we're going to be just about 30 laps away from crowning a champion as Brandon Pollock makes a dive down on the pit road. But our leaders, Eddie Smith, Andy Kurtz, and Mike Kostek, all stay out. These drivers all in front of them are all drivers on the tail end of the lead lap. When the lights on the pace car go out, these drivers will be able to wave themselves back around, get onto the end of the lead lap. So as the pace car comes by this time, the lights on the pace car should be shutting out. That's going to put Andy Kurtz up on the high side. Mike Kostek is going to line up right behind Eddie Smith. Travis Bieber in fourth. Charles Stevens Jr. and Matt Knights are going to round out your top six. We get ready to retake the green flag with just about 30 laps to go. Again, if you're just tuning in, an unfortunate ending for Jonah Colbert's championship bid as he was trying to make his way down on the pit road. Overshot pit road and stuffed the car into the water barrels at the end of pit road. So unfortunately for Colbert, his championship bid is over. But here we go, pace car on pit road. Eddie Smith hits the gas, green flags back in the air. Mike Kostek side by side with Andy Kurtz as they come down into turn number 1. And Kurtz able to slide on into that second position. As our top 3 championship drivers now run 1, 2, 3. A little further back, we got a little battle back here. Charles Stevens Jr., Travis Bieber, Tyler Rice all battling for position. We all get single file here. A little further back. Oh, little issues. Sponberg down off the racetrack, off of pace. Here comes Brandon Pollock looking down underneath Steve McDonald. This is a battle for the lucky dog. Just in front, we see Brandon Wallace and Mickey Isaac going at it. As we see our championship 3 running 1, 2, 3, and Kurtz trying to run down that 8 machine, try to put himself in a position to run down Eddie Smith and win himself a championship here tonight. They say the cream always rises to the top, and our top 3 drivers are showing exactly that, running 1, 2, 3. Coming to 25 laps to go. We know Eddie Smith has the speed. We know Kostek has the drive. We know Andy Kurtz can save the tires. With just 25 laps to go, it's going to be an exciting finish. I'm already on the edge of my seat as Charles Stevens Jr. is battling here with Andy Kurtz, trying to take over the 3rd position to throw a big monkey wrench into the top 3, excuse me. And Junior moves himself up into the 3rd position. Junior is on a little bit fresher tires. You see Kurtz tuck it in line, going to draft the 88, trying to get him to pull himself up to the 8 of Kostek. And Travis Bieber right there in the mix as well. Don't count out Tyler Rice running back in the 6th position as here comes Junior looking down to the inside of Kostek. They are door to door, side by side off of turn number 4. Junior trying to take away that 2nd position. Again, Eddie Smith, Mike Kostek, they don't have to win the race. They just have to be the highest finishing driver to win the championship tonight. As now Travis Bieber has gotten around Andy Kurtz, and here comes Tyler Rice trying to move around Kurtz as well. And Charles Stevens Jr. was on pit road 4 laps after our 2 leaders, so that's why he's showing a little bit more speed. He's got a little bit fresher tires, and those 6-mile fresher tires are definitely showing something here tonight. Junior's going to take another look down to the inside of Kostek. Ooh, pushes up the track just a little bit. That's exactly what Eddie Smith wants to see in his mirror. Now he sees Kostek right there back on the back bumper. As we ride along on the back bumper of Eddie Smith. When they cross the line this time, we'll have just 20 laps to go. Here comes Kostek down to the inside, trying to take the lead away from Eddie Smith. They're side by side for the lead and the championship. Charles Stevens Jr. right there in the mix as well. Andy Kurtz waiting in the wings, trying to see if somebody makes a mistake to get himself up in the mix. Side by side down the backstretch. Eddie Smith able to pull back out in front. Junior up to the high side. Off of turn number 4. Here's going to try to cut down to the low side. Here comes Andy Kurtz with a head of steam as he's right there as well. The draft in full effect. As they almost go 3 wide behind. Andy Kurtz still trying to run down the 87 of Eddie Smith. Travis Bieber now 3 wide with Tyler Rice and Andy Kurtz down into turn number 3. Look at the run that Kostek has as he's trying to get a run here on Eddie Smith. Going to take a look down to the inside as they approach turn number 1. Kostek down on the low side. Eddie Smith right there on the wall. There's that run that you get off the high side as you see Eddie Smith able to pull right back ahead of the 8 of Kostek. And Charles Stevens Jr. right there as well. Here comes Andy Kurtz. He's gotten around both Bieber and Rice. He's running back in the 4th position. He's trying to get himself back up into contention here for the championship. Charles Stevens Jr., he's not trying to win the championship. He just wants to win the race. Side by side again for the lead. Eddie Smith, Mike Kostek. Smith with the advantage down into turn number 3. Kosek's going to have to tuck back in line and regroup as he pushes up the track. Almost pushes up into Charles Stevens Jr. They're side by side off of turn number 4 as Jr. use a little side draft. He's going to pull ahead of Kostek as they go down into turn number 1. And now Junior up on the high side. He's going to get that strong run up off the high side. Use a little side draft. Here comes Tyler Rice and Travis Bieber behind as Andy Kurtz has fallen back into the 6th position. Now Bieber using that high lane right now, trying to move himself forward. Andy Kurtz trying to follow through as well. He's trying to save a little bit of tire, have a little battle here at the end. Right now, though, Eddie Smith has some breathing room as he's got Charles Stevens Jr. between himself and Mike Kostek. Andy Kurtz sits back in the 6th position, trying to find a way back to the front to battle for the championship. Again, though, we've seen this out of Kurtz. He could be just hanging back there trying to save some tires. Jonah Colbert says them boys putting on a show. It's Travis Bieber right there on the wall, trying to get around Tyler Rice. Here comes Kostek down to the inside of Charles Stevens Jr. Jr. was trying to make a move on Eddie Smith. There's some contact between Jr. and Kostek. Now they're 3 wide behind. Tyler Rice on the high side. Travis Bieber on the bottom. Mike Kostek in the middle. They get back to 2 wide. And that is the break that Eddie Smith needed to separate himself from Mike Kostek. Kostek, though, now trying to battle back up on the high side of the 114. Gonna tuck back in line, and here comes Tyler Rice now with a head of steam, trying to get around the 88 of Charles Stevens Jr. Again, Eddie Smith does not need to win the race. He just has to finish ahead of Kostek and Kurtz to win the championship here tonight. That's Charles Stevens Jr. right there, running in the tire tracks of Eddie Smith. Kostek gets a little bit of a run here down the backstretch, using that draft, trying to pull up on Tyler Rice. Right behind, we see Andy Kurtz trying to battle his way back into the battle for the championship. Ten laps to go here at Homestead, Miami. Eddie Smith out in front of Mike Kostek. There's a car separating them. That's the car of Charles Stevens Jr. Tyler Rice also right here in the mix, trying to play spoiler. Right now, though, Charles Stevens Jr. and Tyler Rice are Eddie Smith's best friends in his mind, as he's able to keep Kostek behind. Rice got a little loose there on the low side. That's going to allow Kostek to move himself up solidly into the third place by himself. Now Andy Kurtz almost off the pace completely. He's fallen back to the 6th position, and he's almost lost touch with our leaders here. Eight laps to go. Eddie Smith still out in front. Mike Kostek trying to work his way around the 88 of Charles Stevens Jr. Kosek's got a head of speed now. He's right there on the back bumper. As they come down the front stretch. 7 laps to go. Eddie Smith just trying to hold on for 7 more laps. Here comes Tyler Rice looking down to the inside of Kostek. Every time these cars battle with Kostek, it breaks his momentum for him to try to get back up to Eddie Smith for the championship. Tyler Rice now looking down to the inside of Kostek. They're side by side, just 5 laps to go. Tyler Rice trying to get himself up on the podium. Mike Kostek trying to keep himself in touch with Eddie Smith in case Smith has any issues. Kostek can pounce and take the championship. With 4.5 laps to go, Eddie Smith out in front. As Rice takes another look down to the inside of Mike Kostek, and Andy Kurtz now has fallen back. He is out of touch with our front drivers, and at this point he's just hoping for a caution to come out to give himself another shot at a restart. Jonah Colbert says, "Let's go T. Rice," as Rice is trying to get himself up onto the podium here tonight. That time by, Charles Stevens Jr. was a little bit quicker than Eddie Smith. And Then Smith turns around and runs a little bit faster than Stevens. So these two drivers are trading times back and forth. See the difference. Kostek, last time by, was a little bit quicker than Eddie Smith, but with just 2 laps to go, I don't think it's going to be enough time. As they come off of turn number 4, Eddie Smith coming to take the white flag. 1 lap to go here at Homestead, Miami. 4 corners for Eddie Smith to claim the championship here tonight in the Grand National Series. Kostek, though, is charging hard here off of turn number 2. And as they come down the backstretch, Tyler Rice trying to make a last-ditch effort to get himself up onto the podium as Eddie Smith comes through turns 3 and 4. Off of turn number 4, and your champion and race winner, the 87 of Eddie Smith. Charles Stevens Jr. comes home second. Mike Kostek a little short in P3. Tyler Rice P4. And Andy Kurtz rounds out your top 5. But your winner here tonight and champion is the 87 of Eddie Smith. Vinny Welk says, "Let's go, Eddie." I'm not sure how to say that one, but somebody else was cheering on Eddie. And then Dono283 says, what I say, as they said at the very beginning of the race that they were here to watch Eddie Smith take home a championship tonight. And that's exactly what that 87 did. As he celebrates on the front stretch. He's going to burn those tires right down to the ground. He's going to burn it down until the engine blows or until Matt Kleeman comes in and cleans them out here as we get ready to take a look at the final results. And Eddie Smith is your winner and champion here tonight in the Grand National Series. Charles Stevens Jr. brings it home P2. Mike Kostek back in 3rd. Tyler Rice and Andy Kurtz, your top 5. Travis Bieber brings it home in 6th. Matt Kleeman 7th. Jonathan Cofield, our pole sitter, brings it home in 8th. Brett Bieber 9th. And Mickey Isaac comes home in the 10th position. 11th was Steve McDonald with Matt Knights in 12th. Brandon Wallace comes home 13th. Brandon Pollock in 14th. Lance Bongbird in 15th. Jonah Colbert, after having his issues, comes home in 16th. And Daniel Cunningham rounds out the field here tonight at Homestead, Miami, as we get ready to talk to our top 3, starting with your 3rd place finisher, Mike Kostek. Mike, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, great run for you here tonight. Just a tough break there at the end. A lot of hard racing there at the end, though, and you had a good shot at it, but it looks like your tires just wore off a little bit quicker than Eddie's there. But, man, talk us through that race, and especially those last 20 laps or so battling out for the championship.
Yeah, it was fun there at the end. Got a little boring there in the middle, but yeah, I used my tires up a little bit trying to hold off the guys on the fresher tires. It would have been nice to be able to battle Eddie side by side there till the end, but it is what it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of battling throughout the field there. You had Charles Stevens Jr., Tyler Rice all giving you a run for your money as well. And, man, coming to the end with about 10 laps to go, I knew that you and Andy there were probably hoping for a caution to kind of tighten up the field and give you one last shot. Is that what you were kind of hoping for there, or are you just hoping to run it out there to the end?
Yeah, I was hoping for a caution coming and get my last set of tires because I could barely turn through the corner. It was just plowing there at the end.
Well, a great job. I know it's a disappointing end to the season, but a heart-filled race, coming home third, second in the points. Great season overall, man. Congrats on such a wonderful season. And before I let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shout outs you got to give?
Oh yeah, thank you guys up in the booth. Teammates of Bandits, Jonah and Daniel for everything they do for the series, and then just everybody else in the field. It's been fun racing them all year.
Yeah, and it was an exciting finish. Great to watch the racing here tonight, and we look forward to seeing what you can do this Sunday as well.
Yeah.
So congratulations again on the podium, being in the top 4, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.
All right, man, thanks.
Have a great night. So that was your third place finisher, Mike Kostek. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Charles Stevens Jr. Jr., you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I gotcha.
Man, what a run here tonight. Able to save their tires. Looks like you came in a little bit after those guys. When that caution came out, you were able to get a little bit fresher tires and drive yourself up and almost battle there for a win here tonight. What was it like out there battling with those boys for they were battling out for a championship? And do you think you might have had something for Eddie if maybe a caution came out there at the end?
I think I could have. But yeah, it was definitely nail biting. Being in the middle of all 3 of the playoff drivers right there. Sucks that Jonah got watered down by the water bills at the end of pit road. So sucks for him. I knew he was pretty fast tonight, but yeah, I actually didn't have the speed, and I did a short pit probably 15 laps before that last caution came out. And then I was like, well, heck of it. I'm on 15 lap tires, so I actually took a set of tires right before it went back green there. So I was on freshies. And yeah, I could have maybe I tried to get around Eddie there, and was just cruising right there, just trying to buy my time and see if he messed up or not, and to see if I could get around him. But a hell of a run by Eddie, even Michael and Kurtz. But I'll take a second any day in this league.
For sure. And you kind of touched on it, the nail biting there. A great battle between you, Eddie, Kostek, Tyler Rice, Andy Kurtz, Travis Bieber. What was it like being in that mix there, especially knowing that you had the playoff drivers and you had some drivers desperate just to try to get a win?
Yeah, it was definitely crazy. I just was just making sure I held my line. Because like I said, I don't want to take or hit no one or take anyone out of a opportunity to run a championship. So, but I wanted to get up there and rattle their cages a little bit and put some pressure on them. I didn't want them to just battle up there by themselves and have all the fun. So I made sure I got up there and raced them as clean as possible. So it didn't change the outcome of anything.
Well, a great run and a great season for you, Charles. Definitely exciting to watch. Before I let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
First off, I want to thank you for broadcasting, Josh, with intensity. And then just all of our sponsors with Kinder Farm and Ranch, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, Dark Horse Motorsports, and just everyone that puts this league together day in and day out and keeps it running smooth. And my wife and son for allowing me to race.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the podium. We look forward to seeing what you can do Sunday night, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh.
Have a great night.
You too, man.
So that was your second place finisher, Charles Stevens Jr. Let's bring in your winner, not just of the race, but the championship, the one and only Mr. Eddie Smith. Eddie, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Josh.
Man, what a wild race. For a while there, it looked like Cofield and you were just kind of running away from it for a while. Kostek was able to make his way back up to you, a late race caution, and then what a battle that was going on among the top 6 with Andy Kurtz and Tyler Rice and Charles Stevens Jr. in the mix there as well. Man, talk us through those last 25 laps, because I know your heart must have been pounding the whole time.
Well, I don't know what to do with my hands, Josh. I just want to thank Big Red. I want to thank JC Motorsports. I want to thank all the people that get us around the track, all the Rebels guys. I want to thank you in the booth. And, man, I tell you what, it's a good night. But we had a good race. I enjoyed that a lot. I thought we were racing in Atlanta, and I was so surprised when I got in there and saw it was Homestead. But JC Motorsports, we got us a good package for Homestead. I think we got the field kind of covered when it comes to that track and that car. So felt confident that we'd make it work. And we were all just riding there for a little while. And, man, just trying to save my tires a little bit. I knew the right front was going to be super important getting into one. And, yeah, just, man, everything kind of worked out there in the first part of the race. And then there at the end, just a heck of a battle for a championship.
Yeah, normally a race like Homestead, it tends to get really spread out. We saw that kind of at the beginning, in the middle there. But to have 6 or 7 cars right there battling for a win, essentially, that must have put a little bit of pressure on you as well as you were watching your mirror that battle behind you.
Yeah, D-Dial, Billy, you know, man, I knew I was in trouble when I saw Charles Stevens hit the fence and he was coming out wide open around them guys. And I said, oh, shoot, he got a new set of tires. He's got a couple more laps on him, and he was rolling. So I knew that I asked him in the chat, and I said, man, what do I do? Do I save tire? Because it's been kind of a saving race all race long. And I said, man, we got to save a little bit of tire. But there at the end, 30 laps, that's enough for the tires to wear out. And, you know, Jonah, being a coach that he is, even though he's out of the race, and he said, he said, man, you got to go. You can't let them by, because that little middle part, that middle part where I was starting to run down Kostek, and I got to the back bumper about 2/10, and I got stuck. I felt like my line was a little bit better. We were running different lines. I felt like I could get there, but I just couldn't get past that little bubble to get up to him to try to make a move on him. And so I really needed a short pit. So, yeah, I don't know. I just there at the end, I knew I had to push and give it all I had. I thought Kurtz may try to hang back there and save his tires like he did that one time. So I had a lot in my mind, just trying to deal with all the stuff going on and trying to watch where that black number 3 was. That's the one I had to watch for. So, but man, sorry, I'm kind of amped up. Got a lot of adrenaline going. I don't know what I'm saying.
I don't
think I'm
blame you
speaking
right now.
French. Am I speaking French? All croissant, Josh.
No, we understand you loud and clear, man. And hey, it's your spotlight right now. You got a lot of support here in the chat here as well. So you had a bunch of people rooting you on. And man, Charles Stevens Jr., not just was he battling you there at the end, but he was your best friend holding Kostek behind you as well. So yeah, we had
Yeah, I thank all those guys, man. I mean, him, Travis Bieber, all of them getting up there and racing. You know, man, it was tough because I knew I had to stay in front of him because Kostek was going to be right there, right behind him. So, but I appreciate those guys racing clean and being smart about, you know, racing around, knowing there's a championship. So I just can't say enough about Charles Stevens Jr., man. Been a teammate this season. And and then Travis Bieber and everybody. I can't remember. There's somebody else back there racing. So it made all the difference. So
Tyler Rice.
Yeah,
was
Tyler
there as
Rice.
well.
Yeah, Tyler Rice. Yeah. So I mean, put on a show. That's the best thing about it. At the end of the day, they got up there and put on a show, and that's sometimes that's more important.
Well, I want to let you know in the chat you had support tonight, and I apologize if I'm saying any names wrong. But it looks like it was Don0283, Vinny, and Omar War. We're all cheering you on here tonight. If any of those YouTube names sound familiar to you.
Yeah, just a big support group. Got to thank those guys. Yeah, I wanted to go ahead. Can I go ahead and give them my shout outs?
I was going to say, go ahead. I was going to ask you to shout out here. That was my next question. You were about to get it, so go ahead.
JC Motorsports, I want to thank Charles Stevens Jr., Jonah Colbert, Daniel Cunningham for all the work this season. I mean, we couldn't have done it. Couldn't have gotten this championship without them. So this is a JC Motorsports championship. But I also want to thank Vinny, Dan, Amber, and Eric for watching. I want to thank them for supporting me, man. Just some really awesome friends. I want to thank my friend Rob. He just, it's a little weird, but just want to celebrate this. He just came out of the closet, man. I just want to just give him a big shout out, man, and congratulations to him. And I know it's a little weird, but hey, it's a big moment in his life, so I just want to throw that out there. So congratulations, Rob. But yeah, thank you for broadcasting. Thank all the Rebels, man. They this series has been a lot of fun. And definitely appreciate my teammates, Jonah and Daniel, for putting in the hard work for this season. So,
and I totally respect that. One of my best friends is that way, and it doesn't make them. It's a great thing. It's a great thing for them to have the bravery to come out. So, awesome shout out there at the end there.
He's a brave fella. So
absolutely.
But thank you, Josh. Appreciate you.
I appreciate the shout out as well, Eddie. And again, congrats. Go celebrate, man.
Woo!
Don't
yes, sir.
Although I
gotta go broadcast. I can't celebrate.
Broadcast, so
yeah, I gotta go broadcast a race. I haven't got a chance to celebrate. I'll celebrate tomorrow.
Well, yeah, you celebrate tomorrow, and then you come do it again on Sunday. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Have a great night.
All right, bye.
Bye. So that was your winner tonight and champion, Eddie Smith. And again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. Whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch, we do appreciate you tuning in here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Check out our great sponsors and partners down below, raceepi.com, for all your iRacing setups and coaching needs. IntensityRacing.com for all your swag, intensity, and as well as Ali Adman Weese's swag is there as well. We have a couple other drivers as well as league apparel. So check that all out. The Butt Kicker for all your gaming haptic needs. Again, congratulations, Eddie Smith. Congratulations to the league for a phenomenal season. A great race. And we look forward for you guys to tune in with us on Sunday night as we have a doubleheader for season finale with both the Whole Heating and Sheet Metal Truck Series and the Hardline Transport Solution Truck Series. So tune in right here again on Intensity Broadcasting. And as our boy Atman Weiss would say, over and out.